hello there. So I was sitting in my bed yesterday and I was like imagining this channel becoming successful and actually having subscribers. Then I started panicking thinking, oh my God, have I like literally just insulted? Because I'm telling you, right, I've literally been recording these videos, posting them online and not thinking nothing of it. And actually, if you think about it, maybe there's a lot of people that might be upset at what I'm saying. And maybe those people are going to come and... And because I want to help those people too, like I just want to help the whole entire world, then I started to feel like, oh my gosh, I need to find a way to not insult people when I speak, because I want people to listen to give it a chance and listen to what I'm saying instead of being like, I hate this person because they are mocking what I believe in. And so then I have to state that I said what I said. And if I ever said it in a bad way, I'm really, really sorry, because I actually don't want to insult anybody. And if this channel grows and then people become upset at some of the things that I say, then let's just have a conversation about it and carry on talking about it. Anyways, and actually I got my first suggestion in a video, which I won't be covering today, but I got my first suggestion from a comment. Instead of like, because some people, I guess they do suggest videos to me, but they either suggest it face to face or on messages. And this one was a comment and I was like... But then I started to panic. The whole world's going to hear things that I've said on this channel. Ooh. Which obviously that's what I'm doing this for anyway. So I don't even understand why I'm even panicking, because this is what I do this for. Like, I'm here to speak so then we could change this world. And I knew that from a very young age. So on that subject then, I'm very excited to speak about this, because I even came like dressed in white, and okay, my hair is just the same as it is every single week because I don't know what else to do with it. And I only put it up from like when I'm cleaning, when I'm doing things that I need it gone. But let me interrupt to show you my rings for today. I don't know what stone they are. I just made them. And I make these rings, and so these are today. They're a little bit like pinky. Anyways, I made a big effort for today's video because this is the only reason why I'm alive here, is for this particular video. Literally, I was born on earth just for this. So this is very important. I need to... So the title of today's video is Designing the New World. Check, check, one step, check, 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 check. Right, okay, let me concentrate. Okay, so I'm gonna open up this subject by telling you a conversation that I had with my son the other day, and the reason why I'm obsessed with this changing the world stuff, right? So just hear me out for a second. We're having this conversation because I had a situation in Morrison's the other day where I was having a bit of an emotional morning, and then my shopping came up to like £87, and as a single mother, that amount makes me angry. I'm very frustrated anyway, so then I'm like really upset. And I'm trying to like keep myself together because I'm in public and stuff. Anyways, and then I look at these like football cards, and my nephew's always like, Auntie Nayna, can we go to Tesco to buy football cards? And I'm like, not today, Ralphs, I got this and that to do. Anyway, so then I look at them and I'm like, I'm gonna get it to him for him before he even asks me this time. Bearing in mind, I've just spent £87, but you know, we like to make kids happy. So I went over and the lady was really inappropriately rude to me, like literally out of nowhere. I was being really polite because I was feeling a bit fragile, and I was like really like polite, and I was like, can I please have one of each cards? And she's like, what cards? And I'm like, whoa. And usually at this point I would have like seen red, but because I've been working on my anger, I was like, anyways, blah blah blah. Fast forward, I'm having this conversation because I'm telling my son about this situation, and I said to him that I used to have a dream when I was in school, because I had really bad anxiety and dread all the time, and I used to have this imagination that there was somewhere in America where the sun like was always shining, and people were always nice, and people was always polite and kind, and really like nice and kind, and I used to pretend that I'd end up there, and that I'd live there, and that everybody's gonna be nice and kind. And then that thought made me like calm down in the present moment of feeling like I'm in a zoo full of like animals that are going to eat me. And it used to really calm me down, this like illusion and for me it wasn't an illusion, it was like, I know that place is there somewhere. And I was saying this to him, like that I used to have this thought, and then we started like trying to name like, where do you think that is? Like we was like Hawaii maybe, or Canada, or I don't know. And I could just see in his face that he was really sad that this world is not like that, and that we even have to fantasize and dream up of this perfect place that might not even exist, because maybe even people in Hawaii and Canada might be, you know, be having a bad day one day, and then they might be rude to you because they're having a bad day, and then so then maybe it doesn't exist right now anyways. I think if I could speak for myself, which I don't want to just speak for myself because I obviously think that I'm here to speak for the whole entire world. I want to literally lead, like I want to be the world president. And so then you can rely on me, because I swear to you, I will do the right job. Like literally put me in charge and this world will be heaven.
Wow.
I don't know why I'm so confident, but I am, like I see it so clearly. Anyways, if I'm speaking just for myself and my son, I think that I deserve, actually let me not do that. Let me not speak for myself. I think that we deserve for this to be real, for us to live in a place where people are nice, where literally nobody steals from you. You can leave your door open, you can leave your car open, like nothing is ever wrong. You can go to the shop at midnight and not feel like, oh God. You can like walk down the street and not feel like, oh God. Like literally everything is nice. And I feel like we deserve that world. And if I'm gonna speak just for myself, I think I deserve that world. Like literally that's where I belong. Like I don't know what I'm doing here. Like I don't understand why I'm here. Like even when I get angry at people, like I feel so rubbish and I'm embarrassed, and I come home and I just want to hide. Like, oh my gosh, I got angry today. Like I literally don't belong in this world where it's normal to be angry and it's normal for you to hate and for you to do bad things. Like literally it's alien to me. And I don't know if I made that choice as a teenager or not, or why, as to why I'm like this now as an adult, but some way it happened, and now I'm just like sticking out, like I literally don't belong here, and I belong in a place where people are nice. God, that was a long introduction. I'm so sorry. And I guess it needed it, like I needed an excuse as to why I'm about to just go in right now, right? Because let me tell you, the current world is the opposite to that. We have like kind things about us and we have nice things about us, but it's always conditional and it's always dependent on what mood somebody's in, and depending, like I get very excited when I see people who are like kind unconditionally, and that they just are kind because they literally are kind. And even if you hurt me, I'm gonna be like, okay, you know, my first reaction is not to try and hurt you back, it's just to kind of like stop the situation, like, oh, let's stop this. And so the current world, we teach about this God that sounds a bit like a human because of all of his needs and all of his choices. He sounds a bit like a human, like humans will make those needs and those choices, but we're not the same as God, right? And then the leaders of this world and the people who teach this religion, and bearing in mind that if you study religion, you see that all of them have the same story, and they've all like just branched out into different religions, but literally they're all like very similar stories. And it just feels like the humans have taken whatever they wanted, molded it into whatever they wanted to suit them and to suit their area and their culture, and then now we're going with it. And then these are the leaders, right, that are leading this world. And then furthermore, these leaders might even tell you to worship God and talk to God, and that and that there is a God, yet the government act like God. Literally, the government tell you what to do. They tell you where you can and can't live. They tell you how much you need to pay for this, this and that. They literally act like God. They make the rules and we have to follow them. That's a God role. Well, that's what we teach the God role to be, because obviously I don't think that's the God role at all, but that's what we've taught the God role to be. And literally the government act like the God. So literally it's like the government are behind the God, because they're literally like mirroring each other.
Oh no!
And they're acting like this God where they tell you what to do. They make up the rules. We have to follow. They are higher than us. We don't have a say. Literally, if I killed somebody tomorrow, I don't have a say as to what happens to me. It will have to be on the hands of the government as to what happens to me. If I make any decision, it's in the hands of the government as to what happens to me. If I decide tomorrow that I don't want to pay rent anymore and that I just want to live free in London, in that flat over there where it's empty, there's nobody living there. If I decided that I want to do that, the government overpower me and they say, no, Nayna, you can't do that. So they act like God, and this is the world that we're living in today, where a few lead all, and that few are benefited and they have a good lives, and then the all is just random if you have a good life or not. And I'm talking about, what am I talking about? Because I'm not even talking about emotional needs. I'm talking about like physical needs, and these people are taking care of in their physical needs, and then most of the people, it's just very random if you're taken care of or not. Oops. And it's quite sad because most of this leadership is done in a selfish way. And if you pay attention to people, actually mostly everybody's selfish. They will say, what's in this for me? how am I benefiting from this? Where do I come into the story? It's mostly all about the self. And then when it's not, it's always a lower standard than what you'd give to yourself. Like, oh, I have this, so if you at least have that, then that's good enough. I've done my part. At least you have that. But it's never as good as what I have for myself. I'm talking in riddles. The leaders never give to others what they give to themselves. These leaders of the world, they're never like, oh, I live in a mansion, maybe you should have a mansion too. It's never that. It's always, oh, I live in a mansion, so at least you can live in a studio, and at least I'm taking care of my people. But it's never equal. It's never the same. The top are at the top and everybody else lands somewhere on the rat race. And like I said, religion has done this a lot, where they take religion, and it's even in Christianity, where Christianity has branched out into different types of Christianity, where these groups of people now no longer agree with you, or this king wanted to get a divorce, and God says you're not allowed to divorce, and therefore this king now has made up a new rule, we are allowed to be divorced. And so they're like, we are just adjusting and molding everything to suit us. And that's what these leaders are doing, and then they're teaching it to you as if it's facts and the law, and really we've made up the whole thing. Another way that we live in this world is that we exchange to give. So if you want me to do something, I need to be given something for it. If you want me to give you my time, I have to be given something for it. Even if it's just a thank you, I need to be given something for it. And it's so interesting that I'd rather like give like secretly, so then people don't need to say thank you to me. Because like, even when people say thank you to me, I feel a little bit like, I don't want that thank you. Like I just want to do this. But I am an alien, so that's fine that I'm weird like that. But like, I prefer to just like be Santa Claus in the middle of the night, where you don't even get to say thank you to him, because he's like in and out, and he just does the right thing and he's out, and nobody needs to say thank you. Like, I prefer that. Like, my brain prefers that, because when people say thank you, it just feels a bit uncomfortable. But anyway, this world, we exchange to give. We give to exchange. And I feel like this is a lack of maturity, and not seeing the whole reality of life, of like, oh, I don't have enough, so I have to make sure that I'm giving you accordingly, so then I don't run out, or I don't lose, or I'm not taken advantage of, or it's all based on fear. Now, the new model. I was so excited about this. I really am excited about this. So basically, right, since I was younger, I had an obsession that we have to get rid of money. I don't have a bad relationship with money. Actually, I love money, because when I have money, I like to go buy trainers, and I like to go buy tracksuits. And so then I love money. I get very excited when it comes into my account, and I'm like, and then I go out to the shop and I'm buying things. And so then I really do love money. I don't like the fact that loads of people don't have it. That's basically, or when I actually need it, sometimes I actually don't have it. And so then I don't like that side to it. But when I do have it, of course, I love money. But when I don't have it, I actually don't like it. And so for the longest time, I've been obsessing, how can we get rid of money? And I've literally been talking about this like throughout my whole entire life. People that know me know that I bring this up all the time, right? That I'm like, how do we get rid of money? And everybody's answers are always the same. There's absolutely no way. People need a system. People need to be controlled. People, you know, if we didn't have money, then what would we be doing it for? Literally, they all say the same thing. It's impossible. You can't get rid of money. And here I am kind of going, but that obviously isn't correct. So how are we going to do this? And so then I'm obsessing. And so then I came up with, so then I come up with these models. So then I can like stick up for like, no, we're getting rid of money and this is how we're going to do it, right? So listen to me speak, please. So in a brand new world, we will create a model where we spend half of our life, or half of the year, every year, we spend half of the year giving service to the system, and we spend the other half of the year enjoying the functions of the services. I don't know if I just said that and really like, what did she just say? So let me say it in a different way. Half of the year, you work to make the world go round. The other half of the year, you relax and you enjoy the world going round. Now, the half of the year that you're contributing to making the world go round, you're contributing to the services, you're doing those services for absolutely nothing, for free. You're giving yourself to this world for free. And so then, and I have this like really exciting thing in my head of like, so you could put your name down. For example, if you're a pilot, you could put your name down to be a pilot. And maybe we've got so many pilots now, because people are now allowed to become a pilot for free. There's so many pilots and they're all qualified that actually maybe you're not going to be used as a pilot for 2 years. So what other skills can you put your name down onto? And it could work like a register of like giving yourself for the services. And maybe, you know, maybe 1 year you take a whole year out because you're not needed, because there's so much resources and people offering their services to the world to make the world go round. So what you enjoy, what you're doing, you become qualified at that of what you enjoy, and then you offer those services, and then the system will then call you up from when it's your 6 months of service towards function in the world. A lot of the jobs that we have now will probably no longer exist, because a lot of the jobs that we have now is to make money go round, is to make people carry on spending money, is to make people carry on being hypnotized, and there's a lot of negative jobs. And when you have a positive world, those jobs cease to exist, and those jobs make people depressed anyway, because nobody wants to be doing those jobs. They're just forcing themselves for the money. So you're literally going to be doing things that you like and that you're skilled at and that you're qualified at and that you want to do, and then you give those skills for free for 6 months so people can enjoy the function, and then you take turns, and now it's your turn to enjoy the function and somebody else is driving the plane. Now, a lot of people who don't think like me, their first question would be, what about all the jobs that people don't want to do, Nayna, like picking up rubbish or processing poo or recycling, or things that are just a bit like, ooh. And you know what? You'd be surprised, because even me, I like to sing, I like to organize, I like to talk, but if I had to go and clean the streets for 6 months, I would 100% go and do that, because I am contributing something positive to the world, and the world needs that from me. Therefore, I'm so willing to do it. And there's so many people in this world that could be similar to me, and they're willing to do these jobs to make everything okay. And then I was talking to my friend about this like vision that I'm having, and she was like, well, and also like we can, you know, if you really just don't want to contribute at all, like we don't need to force people to contribute, like no, you have to give 6 months, otherwise you're not allowed your 6 months. There would be none of that, because we will have understanding and communication as to what people need and want. And like I said, because we won't be charging for qualifications and for education, we won't be charging. You can just become a pilot. Now you're free to become a pilot, whereas before you couldn't afford to be a pilot because we were charging for things that are for free. Literally, you write it down for free. I'll tell you what, I have the skills of being a pilot. I'm gonna put that all down on paper of how do you become a pilot? How do you become great as me? All of that came for free from my brain onto the paper. The paper came from nature. I think we processed it. I don't know how that happens, because that's weird. Like, how does paper come from wood? And so then the whole thing is free, and we're literally putting these blocks of money on top of everything, and it's literally annoying. So I wonder what you think of this model of like half service, half enjoying the function. And like I said, there will be so many people who are willing to take turns on doing the hard jobs, or the jobs that... And actually, some people might say to me that putting up a bed or putting up a sofa is hard, and that they don't want to do it and that they hate it. And for me, it's like, move along, because I love that. I'll do it. And I'm sure that we all fit like a puzzle. But because nothing is free and we're all like stuck in these little corners because of money, then we're not really going for what it is that we really enjoy. We're going for what would make us money. And actually, I really enjoy putting up a bed. I really enjoy putting up a wardrobe. It doesn't stress me out. I love it. So we will all fit as a puzzle if money wasn't in the way. So moving on to education. Because I think it's quite interesting that like at this age, I'm 35, now I want to start learning. Now I want to start studying science, studying maths, studying English. So we're literally forcing children, robbing them of their childhood, because all they want to do is talk to their friends and be with their friends and laugh with their friends, and we're taking that from them, forcing them to like learn things they have no interest in learning. And I feel like it's just literally like evil. Like, I feel like the education system is evil, and we need to scrap the whole thing. You need to ask children, what do you want? And actually it's so sweet, because a lot of children actually do want to tag along with the adults. So we can literally teach them with us, like come and tag along while I'm working and you learn. And or if today you want to be with your friends, go ahead and do do that. And I feel like education and teaching should come at a much later age and with choice, because it's all free. Now you could just pick whatever you want to learn. And teachers who have passion for teaching, now you could teach for free. I bet we're all gonna be like recalculating what it is that we really want to do if you're doing it for free, right? And then we're all then genuinely fit into the puzzles that we're supposed to fit in, because now we're being honest, like what do I actually want to do for pleasure? And trust me, there's people out there who teach for pleasure, they sing for pleasure, they help for pleasure, they put things up for pleasure. You can do things for pleasure, and when we all do that, it's all gonna fit together perfectly, and all of the roles will be taken care of. And if you want to take 5 years off without contributing one little bit, that's fine, because we have enough people contributing that you can take your time when you want to contribute, because then the pleasure will call you to do it. So then the teaching system all needs to change. We have like 8 billion minds to come up with ways as to how can we qualify a pilot? How can we make sure that a pilot doesn't crash the plane without, I don't even know where that cut off, but I was saying that there's 8 billion minds in the world, and we could come up with a new way as to how to make sure that people are really qualified to do something without sitting through the exams that we have put in place now. So let me finish on the point of what's the point? What's the point of life, Nayna? I thought the point of life was to have children, get as rich as you can, make sure that my family's happy, and then I die, and maybe I go to a heaven, or maybe I go to a hell, or maybe I don't exist at all. I thought that was the point of life, Nayna. And obviously that's a whole other video as to what is really going on here. But let me just do a little bit for you. I don't know if what I'm about to say is true, because my brain is literally locked in this human existence, and I only have access to what you have access to. Okay, I know that my thinking is a bit alien, and like my actions are a bit alien, but I'm literally like a human, and I can't even say to you this is truth, because I don't have access to God the way that I need to have access to God for me to kind of say, guys, this is true, right? But I believe that the point of life is that God literally is weaving itself like this, becoming things, and then it's looking at itself and it's enjoying itself, and it's just literally weaving itself, and we're literally weaving. I say literally a lot, I'm so sorry. Why do I say that word so much? And it's just looking at itself, enjoying looking at itself, playing with itself, enjoying it. And I feel like that's what we're doing, we're like enjoying it. So go and drive that plane for free, and you know, go and work at Disneyland for free because we love rides, or go and, I don't know how the restaurant and the food beverage is gonna look like. It has to be purely pleasurable to do stuff like that. And sometimes it is. Some people like, there's some restaurants that they like really like it. They're like, I'm not going to serve the food, and then they get excited to like press buttons and stuff, and like people find these things exciting, and so we do all of it for free, enjoying it, looking at ourselves and how wonderful we are. I don't know what happened here, I don't know. Don't ask me, I don't know what happened here. Because my vision of life is just really, you know what, it's not that different. It's different, but it's not that different. Like, you can see it, I can see it being possible, like 100%, with already the actions that are happening, and how willing we are to help each other, how willing we are, even though it's conditional a lot of the time, like we are willing and it is there. So I feel like all this potential is there in the humans, and I don't know why we have done this and not that, and now it's time to do this, that. Huh? It's time for a new world. Okay, I have said my piece. Thank you so much for listening. I'm excited to go on this journey with you to create a new world. These leaders who are in power at the moment, they're very selfish and they can't lead anymore. It's done. All of them, all of them. Every country that has government, all of them, they need to not be in power anymore. And people who are kind and who are giving and then super considerate, those are the people that need to lead, because they will make sure that everything is fair, and they will literally put themselves last if they have to make sure that everybody is happy. And that's the type of leadership that we need. Yeah. Is that we put everybody first and not just the self. And so then all of the leaders, all of the countries, they all need to go. Yeah, I know you're wondering how the heck is that gonna happen. I don't know, but there is going to happen. And I think obviously it's something to do with the 8 billion people, because we're such babies that we actually listen to people and we believe in them and we're scared of their weapons. And I feel like when we come together and we stand up to this like stupidity of control, then they won't have a choice but to step down. And sadly, they do have these weapons that are like, raw. But having said that, if a nuclear bomb like destroys the whole of Earth, right, it would just be like this like little flicker compared to the whole universe. It's like it just didn't even happen, even though they say that. The butterfly like can impact across the universe, and maybe there is a see-through impact, but literally it's so small that even if we like destroy the whole Earth, it would just be like, okay. Oops. And so then here we are, like so scared of these like nuclear weapons and mass destruction because we're not listening, and it's just it doesn't scare me, but I understand why it will scare loads of people. And so that's why I'm here kind of going, well, we need to stand up to everybody, and we need to let the kind people take leadership. And then what will happen after that is that there will be no leadership, because kind people know that people need to lead themselves, and they are just helpers to guide that process rather than being an actual leader. Okay then, thank you so much for listening. I shall see you next time, where I have a juicy video coming up next. Okay, bye.